I guess everybody believes in the work that we do. You know, everyone believes in taking professional art into rural communities where people don't have the same access to the arts as people who live in cities and towns do.
Live and local, I suppose its place in the arts has been growing along with the rest of our sector. In some ways we're the biggest, but it depends how you measure it. But certainly we now cover 8 counties across the East and West Midlands, sort of from the North Sea to Shropshire and from sort of Sheffield down to nearly Oxford. Nothing happens without groups of volunteers in primarily rural communities taking on the role of actually choosing and running the arts events with our help. It's not about us going out and doing shows for people. It's very much about ownership at local level.
It's absolutely volunteer led. Without volunteers in the village halls and in the communities, it just wouldn't happen.
And it is about the people at the heart of their community volunteering for their community. That's what happens, and that's why we travel quite long distances sometimes, because these village halls are really rural.
I'm the secretary of Feckenham Village Hall, and I'm the promoter there for Live and Local. I've been doing that, I think, for about 20 years, and we've had about 78 shows. We are particularly pleased to be working with Live and Local on these things. Apart from anything else, it takes the risk out of everything. We couldn't possibly afford to promote shows by ourselves. The subsidy makes certain that we actually are able to put the show on, take the risk. Very often, if we do very well, we may well almost pay the fee that's being asked by the artist. But if it doesn't go well, we're not going to sink our finances. And these shows are important for a number of reasons. They're important for the community aspect, but they're also important for keeping our halls open and subsidising, to a small degree, some of the other activities that are struggling financially.
Rural touring is one of the most exciting and brilliant parts of subsidised work we've got in this country, in terms of taking shows and bringing them to new audiences and really getting to shape and test and also strengthen your practice as an artist.
It is a night out, it's a special occasion within their own community, and that's very important.
What really attracts me to taking my work into rural communities is, I suppose, breaking down the stereotypes of what a Muslim woman might look like or be like.
I think rural touring is important to artists as well as communities. I think there's something about having that more intimate connection with your audience, being able to get direct feedback and sort of learning more about where they come from and what they want out of the arts. I think it's important for communities as well, because a lot of people don't have access to big theatres, to high quality art. I kind of feel that art is something that belongs to everyone.
Those areas are every bit as important as the big towns and big cities. In fact, they're more galvanised. They're more of a community, much more of a community than when we play the bigger places, and they take you in much more, and you interact with them, they engage more.
My name's Nicole Elders. I'm the chairperson of the Village Hall here in Kingston-on-Soar. I'm also a promoter for Live and Local. We started hosting performances here for Live and Local in around 2018, 2019. We managed a few performances before COVID hit, but it's brilliant to be able to bring live performances, rural theatre, cinema, things that are just a little bit different. We're a rural village. There's not generally a lot going on around here. During lockdown we put a bar in the village hall, but apart from that we don't have any pubs, there's no cafes, there's no other theatre or anything in the like in this village or in the neighbouring villages. So it's nice to be able to offer something different that's intellectual, that gives you something to think about, laugh about, talk about. It's nice to be able to get people out of their homes, but locally, somewhere that they're comfortable being. There's not overrun by people, you don't have to worry about going miles into a major city. You can just walk into your local venue, see something different, meet people new, have a laugh, and that's why we're really passionate about this.
A lot of people don't particularly want to go into mainly the big towns or cities to enjoy drama or music. And so if someone can bring that product, that entertainment, that enjoyment out into the villages, then fantastic.
We try and pick each year some theatre, some comedy or something humorous, something light-hearted, as well as some of the other more unusual acts. There's some fantastic performances to pick from.
We just watched Nosferatu with a live band, and I thought it was a really unique way of experiencing such an old piece of media.
Being able to bring amazing productions like that into the centre of a community enables us to bring people together, and that was a stunning production. I'm not a great fan of horror films, but the music and the way that was put together and the way it enables you to learn about a completely different art form.
Well, there's no else, is there? So if somebody doesn't bring it to you, where do you go?
I started Live and Local promoting about a year ago. This is our 5th show that we've got coming up tonight. I started doing it because for me entertainment is like the heart of life. I'm no good at entertaining, but I love being entertained, and I just felt that we wanted some entertainment in the village to try and gel the village together. And kindly, Sir Jamie Benton-Jones, who owns Earnham Hall, was kind enough to allow us to use the wedding venue, which is here, on occasional Sundays through the year.
I moved up here in November and still getting to know the area, get to know people, and this is just a great way to meet new people and just to enjoy
Supporting a local event and people who are doing or trying to do something for the local community, which is great. So I think Terry and Liz, who've taken the lead on this, have done a fantastic job.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, super talented, super fun, lots of variation. I loved the French song at the end. I loved his poetry, and yeah, just genuine people up there being the best version of themselves.
I mean, I think to have different acts like this one tonight is very important. It gives you something else to do, certainly on a Sunday evening, than doing the normal thing like sitting at home watching TV or getting bored or whatever, sat in front of the laptop or the phone. So to come out to a lovely establishment like Earnham Hall is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's important.
Bringing arts out to the villages and keeping the village halls alive is critical. Villages like this really need a lively village hall life.
If it takes people to actually get up and do things, there are other villages around here, Thrumpton, Barton, so on, where people enjoy these things if you give it to them, you know?
If you want to change something, go out and be that change. You can do this. It's you know, Live and Local make it incredibly easy. It's incredibly simple to do, and the benefits are just massive.